Welcome back, children. So in the last class we have done about physical and chemical changes. Now today we'll go further. Now whenever any change occurs, there is some change in the energy level. There is some sort of change in the energy. For example, whenever you melt sugar, you heat the sugar, that means some energy is involved, it is absorbing energy in this case. Whenever you burn coal, coal burns and turns into ash. So again here some heat is involved. In this way, it has been found that in most of changes, whether physical change or chemical change, in most of the time, some sort of energy change occurs. Whenever you are tearing paper, you will say it is a physical change. Definitely it is a physical change. Now, but the change involves some of your muscular energy. So again, you can say that some energy is involved in it. Now, these changes, especially when we speak of chemical changes, they can be written in the form of a chemical equation, right? So, this chemical change whichever occurs, that is also called as chemical reaction, and it can be represented in the form of a chemical equation. So, generally, how do we write chemical equation? That I'll come afterwards. First of all, I want to tell you that how will you know that a change that is occurring, it is a chemical change? For that, few evidences are there. Evidences of a chemical change. First is production of gas or evolution of gas. Now, if you add few drops of vinegar to baking soda, you will find that bubbles are forming. And then these bubbles are formed of carbon dioxide gas. So whenever, now vinegar as well as baking powder, both are chemicals. Now whenever both of are brought in contact, you find bubbles are forming. So if bubbles are forming, then you will say it must be a chemical change. Clear? So first is, there must be production of gas or evolution of gas. You can also say evolution, production or evolution. If evolution of gas occurs in a chemical change, in a change, then you will say it is a chemical change. Next is formation of precipitate. Now, if when two substances react, if you find that the product that is formed is a solid and which, whether colored or not colored, means whether white or it is colored, it settles at the bottom of the beaker, then that solid is called as the precipitate. For example, when potassium iodide and lead nitrate, they are reacted, a yellow colored precipitate is formed. Clear? So whenever precipitate will be formed, if precipitate forms in a reaction, you will say it is a chemical change. So that is another evidence of a chemical change, formation of precipitate. Clear? Next is change in energy. Now, when you burn wood, what do you find? When wood is burnt, a lot of heat is produced. Along with heat, light is also produced. So whenever such type of energy gets liberated in the form of heat, in the form of light, or in the form of sound, then you will say there must be a chemical change. Now children, all of you burn crackers, right, at the time of festivals. Now, what do you find? When the cracker burns, it produces heat, it produces light, and there is a sound produced. So whenever such type of change occurs in which any form of energy in the form of heat or light or sound is produced, you will say it is a chemical change. Now sometimes change in color occurs. The commonest example I'll tell you. If you cut down vegetables and fruits and keep it for some time on the table in open air, what do you find? Then the color of the fruit and vegetable has changed. It has become either brownish or blackish. So change in color has occurred. That means a chemical reaction has taken place. So if there is change in color, that also proves chemical change. But that does not mean that if there is no change in color, there is no chemical change. There are many substances which are colorless, and after the chemical reaction is over, the product that is formed, that is also colorless. I am saying that if a color change occurs, then definitely we will say it is a chemical change. Clear? So children, we can conclude regarding some signs of a chemical change as first, new substances are formed. Number two, evolution of gas may occur. Number three, a precipitate may be formed. Number four, change in color may occur. Number five, energy may be absorbed or liberated. Clear? So remember, if these are there, you will say that definitely a chemical change has occurred. Now this energy, it can be in the form of heat, it can be in the form of light, or it can be in the form of sound. So this can also be called as characteristics of a chemical change, isn't it? So children, today up to here. In our next class, we'll do about elements. Thank you. Please like the video and share the video as much as you can. Thank you.